Caroline Pointer with ForYourFamilyStory.com here at RootsTech at 2012. And I'm here with Chris Vanderkool with Brightsolid. Thank you very much.
Hi, nice to see you.
You're new to the U.S. market.
Yep.
And tell my listeners a little bit about Brightsolid and what y'all do.
Of course, we're really fresh and new to the, just straight off the boat. We only opened our office in Santa Monica last week, and we opened our first website at censusrecords.com last week too. Brightsolid is the world's second largest genealogy business. We are based out of the UK, in Scotland and London. And we have a big portfolio of websites in family history, like findmypast.co.uk, findmypast.ie for Ireland, .com.au for Australia. We have Genes Reunited, the big family history social network in the UK, Friends Reunited, one of the original social networks in the UK, and Scotland's people.gov.uk, which is the essential website for anyone with Scottish genealogy. We also recently launched BritishNewspaperArchive.co.uk, which is the definitive place to find newspaper content, which is a deal we've done with the British Library. So we've got 4 million pages and increasing by 8,000 every day. So lots and lots of amazing sites.
Growing, definitely. Now, what you're starting out with here in the American market is censusrecords.com. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Yeah,
absolutely. Censusrecords.com is the best value and easiest way to get into the census collection, which is really the core beginning of anyone's journey into genealogy. So for the first time ever in the US, for $7.95, you can buy a bunch of credits and then just use them as you need them to pull records out. So there's no long-term subscription commitment, and there's no high multi-dollar commitment. It's just very, very simple and easy to use, and a really great search technology. Some of the stuff that we've developed for our other sites we've brought here, so there's lots of new ways to search around demographics and things as well. So we're really excited about it. It's in beta at the moment. I'd encourage everyone to go and give it a try, and there'll be more and more coming. And obviously later this year we're part of the community project for the 1940, so we'll be bringing the 1940 census free on censusrecords.com.
All right. And what else? What are any plans for any more records, different types, ones maybe that have not been brought to online? Yeah.
So later this year, we've not announced exactly when, but later this year we'll be launching our premier brand, which is findmypast.com, to the US market. And in there, you're going to find the best record set at launch. If you are an American researcher with family in the UK or Ireland or even Australia, we're going to bring an amazing world collection together with some really unique records that have never been seen in the US before. And then with that platform, with that website, we're going to be out there looking to bring in some new and really exciting, very specific US record sets as well. We've always been about trying to differentiate ourselves and find record sets that nobody else can, so we're out there hunting right now.
All right, great. What about, now you have Find My Past TV show. Can you tell me about that? Because I find that very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's been really exciting for us. In the second half of last year in the UK, we decided to build our own television show in partnership with one of the television broadcasters in the UK. So we funded it, alongside those guys. Now, interestingly, in the UK, the law just changed last year for the first time ever to allow brands to have their own television shows. It's never been allowed before, and we're the first people in the world to do it. So Find My Past, the TV show, is an amazing series. It's 10 one-hour episodes, and what we did is we took a twist on the genealogy TV format, and we said rather than look at celebrities, what we wanted to do is find amazing events in history. So things like the sinking of the Titanic, the mutiny on the Bounty, the suffragette movement, amazing events around all those things, D-Day, the Dunkirk landings, all those kind of events. And we found 3 living relatives of people who were main protagonists, really involved in the event in history, who probably didn't either know anything about their involvement at all, or they kind of vaguely knew but didn't know the detail. And we helped them research through their family history to uncover these amazing stories. And it was just amazing. One of the episodes we had was, your listeners I'm sure are familiar with the case of Jack the Ripper, the famous serial killer from old London town. We actually found a lady who had no idea she was related to one of his victims. And when we told her, she was really visibly, challenged by this, and just the story was wonderful, and she loved it. I mean, she's just been now the biggest advocate for family history you'll ever hear.
Right.
And equally, when we did Mutiny on the Bounty, we were blown away by the fact that the descendants of people like Captain Bligh and Fletcher Christian, today were still passionate about whose fault the whole thing was, and actually they'd inherited some of the personality traits. It was real fun to see. So we've been delighted, and the viewers have responded amazingly. It's really been a great success for us. And next year, we're looking forward to doing even more of that.
And it's bringing history alive, I think.
Absolutely. As soon as you can bring that story out to people and understand that family history is a stepping stone to uncovering these amazing stories, people switch on. We've seen that over the past decade in the UK with the BBC doing Who Do You Think You Are, and doing a great job at it. We've seen that really engages people and encourages them to do it for themselves. So this was a logical step for us to take, and one that we've been delighted with the results.
Any plans to bring it to America?
We would love to bring it to America. Already the UK show, we're talking to people over here to see if anybody wants to rebroadcast the UK show here, which would be, your listeners and viewers will really enjoy it. And indeed, we'd like to even have it online quicker than that. So we're talking to the broadcaster to see if we can do that. But past that, we think the format would work fantastically in the US. I mean, you have some unbelievable events that you can take, whether they be around the Civil War, some of the forming of the nation, some unbelievably rich storyline potential. So we'd love to find the right partner to bring that to the US market. So watch this space.
Look forward to it. I have some UK followers on Twitter that I posed out there if they had any questions for you. And I had a taker, Nick Barrett, from Family History Shows. He wanted me to ask you about, do you support the use of genealogy in mainstream education?
Well, I think genealogy in mainstream education is a fabulous opportunity. Up in Scotland, we have a new system called Curriculum for Excellence, and what that's about is trying to give high schoolers and grade schoolers an opportunity to learn about subjects like math or English in a different context. And if you think about the science of genealogy or the art of genealogy, the lessons that you can build into there, not just pure historical research, but things around statistics. You think about migration statistics, surname surveys, all those things, amazing. And then obviously from an English language and communication point of view, telling those stories is an incredible thing. So I think genealogy as a tool in mainstream education is just a fabulous idea, and one we definitely encourage. And we do with things like with some of our sites, we try and sponsor and encourage people to use them and try projects. In fact, we had a project this year with some English schools in pilot where we asked them to look at the heroes in their own town and research their heroes, and then come up with interesting ways of presenting it. And I think the winning school actually wrote a rap around this whole piece of history, which was awesome. So we're going to do more of that. And with the centenary of the First World War coming around as well, there are just some unbelievably strong family stories to come out, and we'd love the schools to be fully engaged in that.
And he had a second question for you. Do you perceive genealogy tourism being a spur for regional development?
Well, ancestral tourism, genealogical tourism, is already a big marketplace. Up in Scotland again, we had the Gathering, where in 2009, where we encouraged everyone with Scottish roots to come back to Scotland at some point in 2009, the year of homecoming, and we actually had a massive event in Edinburgh where I think some 50,000 people came to. So big events like that, and there's another one in 2014, are huge. But then just in general, great resources like ours can take you so far, but if you've got the time and the ability to do it, there's nothing that beats actually visiting the country and experiencing it firsthand. So I think sites like ours will do nothing other than increase ancestral tourism. Some people have said, oh, this is going to be bad news because people don't have to come to the records office physically do anything. But well, actually I think it's amazing news because they'll spend a short amount of time with us, starting to flesh their tree out and their story out. And then when they come over, rather than having to waste their time just trawling through the bare facts, they can go and visit the sites and find it. Yeah, absolutely, and really get the experience. It's always a great experience to come to any country, but culturally, sitting in a records office is kind of like sitting in a records office anywhere. So we want them to come to Scotland, England, Ireland, Australia, and and visit the local and experience the local culture more and more. And we think we help them do that.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you have the last word. Tell me, anything that we haven't covered that you'd like to share?
I just think we really want to put the message out there that we're massively in receive mode. We want to hear from everybody as to what you think we should do, what products should we bring to the market, because the way the world is now with things like agile development methodology, we'll react really quickly. When people tell us this is what we want, we'll go out and find it. So go and register for free at findmypast.com or censusrecords.com and stay tuned for what's coming. We've put a great team together here. It's although you've got me with a Scottish accent here talking to you today, we've got some amazing people on the ground in the US like Josh Taylor, who's going to lead our charge into the genealogical community in the US, and we're going to build and strengthen that team. So we're here to stay. We're delighted to be in the US, and all the help that the community can give us will be gratefully received.
Well, that's great. We look forward to it.
Thank you,
and
Carol.
thank you very much for sharing.
Anytime. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.